Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate in the Journal Nest, and obviously I'm in Australia, but I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me, and I have to start by saying to you I'm so relieved to be here in my happy place. It's been an incredibly busy couple of days, and now I just, as the light fades, have some time. This is the series I'm starting, which is quite random because I actually never know what I'm going to do except surround myself with things. One of the ideas I have been sharing is that I like to make pouches for my journals. Now, this isn't a pouch for a journal, but it is, oh, I've got myself tangled already. This is the wrap for my horsewhip. Hang on, we just got to get untangled to start with and we'll be right. And I tend to use just the basic chain that I showed you last time to embellish and finish work off. So this is my horsewhip. I'm going to do an update on that tomorrow. But this is where you can just use that simple chain to go round and round and round, put a button on, go around here. Of course, it's not going easily. Let's go this way. And I've just been playing with the idea of adding the word joy and stitching around that. And I often would maybe put a butterfly or something on the end. So simple way, if you're looking for inspiration to close a pouch or a journal, a crochet chain. So we'll get to some crocheting. What else have I got in front of me? I'm a multi-project person, I have to say, and I have many things that I start and then I like to leave and come back to. This is a tiny little pouch that needs some crochet work. This is a journal cover that already has a pocket but needs some embellishing. And this is another one similar. And I've picked these pieces today because they already have bits of crochet on them, and we can have a look at how we can embellish and enhance that already existing old doilies and things like that. So those three are there, and if you know my style and if you're new, I just have to sort of get things around me and feel what I'm going to start with. So let's put those up there and we will start. The first thing in every session I need to do is, just like when I'm sewing my journals, so immediately have a knot here. That's because I got it sorted. In my journals, to start a session for that, I get my layers out and I sew them on the machine. So fabric, paper, whatever, and that calms me and gets me in the mood. And for stitching and crocheting, it is of course some canva. So what color have I got here? So as I'm starting, I'm just wondering what you start with. Do you do multiple projects at once, or do you have like a little ritual? Do you make a cuppa or of coffee or tea or something else? If you're in winter, do you light the fire? If you're in summer, does it come after you've been out in the garden? Some people have been telling me they craft along, side and stitch or knit. So really it doesn't matter at all because we're all our own unique selves. But as I do my running stitch here, I just immediately feel calmer, and that's what it's all about. So I've been trying to practice, literally practice by doing more and more stitches, and I got Sue Spargo's book during the week that's arrived, so I'm going to share that process. Many of you will know all the stitches for me, it's just a learning challenge. I want to say, okay, this is what I'm going to focus on, and this is not like a sampler, but I don't know what that's doing there, and I'm just deciding what direction I'm going. I better just check that you can see what I'm doing. Yes. So we'll fix that one up later. I just want to go up and down for a little while. I've been very much grabbing any time I can to check out more and more stitches and the world, the rich world that we can access through YouTube is just incredible. As I said, I've really only been watching YouTube tutorials and this sort of video that I'm making since February, when I first went to the Green Door Studio in Robertson. And so this whole world has opened up to me, how we can be a community, learn from each other and encourage each other. And that's what I have been enjoying so much, that people are so supportive, and that no matter what we do or what our style is, we are truly connected around the world by working with our hands, I suppose that is. Yeah, there's that school of thought that says, I better remember, head, heart, hands, and the connection of those. So I found huge kindness in this community as we all make with our hands. So I'm just doing one thread of this to calm my heartbeat down. And as I've shared a couple of times before, what I love about this sort of work, which is truly, it'll be my first sort of venture, and I'm calling it Naive Kate, because it's me coming back to stitching after a long time and discovering that really whatever we like goes. And so I think I'm a patchworker, basically, and I love I realise now how longly I've been looking at fabrics and collecting textures. And that's why all these doilies and little offcuts have popped up in my work, because I have had them and rescued them always from op shops, but haven't done anything for them. So I'm looking at that piece and thinking of all the original stitching that went in there that now has a home on this piece, which is where I'm learning how to do, I don't know what those are, but I've improved. A lovely lady, I think I shared with you before, did this for me. So I've added this applique with that on it as my inspiration. So they're growing and spreading, which is what it's about. Sharing our expertise. I've asked you how many projects you work on, and I've asked you how you start your practice. I probably haven't asked you how you're feeling. So how are you feeling today or tonight or whenever it is? Are you excited for the weekend? Or you might be watching this in the week. So I probably shouldn't be too time specific. But just adding texture here by sewing these little stitches. And because this is an offcut that's sort of, it's not square, is it? I'm just going sort of across. So that we don't notice those curves in the end. I'm just going to finish this thread. Truly so simple and so wonderfully good for the soul. And I'll just finish off. I think I'll just go back. Now the light mightn't be great because it's suddenly, and I apologise, suddenly the sun has gone down and it's pretty bleak here today. Windy. Okay, so really we've just done something random, but I love the way that's added to the textures. So let's put that piece aside, and I'm thinking we might have a look at this one, because I know many of you have shared that you crochet and you've been a knitter or all these combinations of crafts, and I don't mean but I sort of have to say but. What I end up being inspired by is layer upon layer and looking at that crochet that I've already stitched down. I see that as an opportunity for adding my own crochet to it, if that makes sense. Now, I found this crochet hook, bamboo. I've never used it before, but I like the colours. This is crazy, Kate. Way more than these blue. So, and I also got out a really small old one that I used to use when I was a girl. Look how things have evolved. But I think for the purpose of this, I'm going to use a bigger one so that you can see my stitches. And for goodness sake, oh yeah. So I've brought down some cotton and white. Oh yeah, you can see white. Can't even find where to start the end of. So let's tuck that one back in. We'll go with the outside and we'll see how long it takes me to get it tangled like that. I will use that scrap, don't worry. All right, so let's do a quick revision of where we got to, and many of you don't need to do this, so just jump ahead. We're going to make a knot. We're going to put our needle in, and we're going to hold this string, and we're going to make a chain. And to do that, we go over and through, over and through, over and through, over and through. So if we wanted to make our wrap, I could just keep doing that. But what I'm thinking is I want to do a wrap, but I want to join it on to the existing crochet. So to do that, we could easily stitch along there, but by crocheting, I'm going to take advantage of using these holes, add a different color, and just add textural interest. So same concept, there's our loop, there's something to hold on to it. Always when we craft, I think it's getting our hands to feel natural, and I'm not into big instruction because you will hold it differently to me, but basically get the loop on and find a hole. And let's go through that hole. And that's, so we've got 2 loops on, and then pull it through. Now I'll do that again because it looked, so really I'm just anchoring the crochet to here. So same as, it's probably like blanket stitch, but with a crochet hook. I just thought, okay, so in, pick up the loop, come through, and I think this is called a single crochet, but don't quote me. Okay, I'm going through, in, and there. And the great thing about crocheting is that you can the texture is easy to adjust. So really I've just done 3 stitches there. It's also quick, so we're, you know, nearly a quarter away past across the pouch. So in, up, and there. Now some of you might need me to keep saying that, so I'll say it a few more times, then we'll just do it. So find a hole, hook your needle through, you've got 2 loops, and pull them through. Then same thing, find another hole. This is why it's really good to edge pieces like this, because the holes are waiting for you, and then you've got something to do more crocheting on or more stitching. So in, loop, and then through the 2 loops. I was helping someone the other day and I can't remember what words I actually said, but here I am, I'm saying find a hole, loop around the hook, pull it through, and then through these 2 pieces. And as I always talk about crocheting, once you can do a chain and hold your hook, really you're off. So see that already? And the colours might be too close, but I can see it. I've got this line on top here that gives me great opportunity for different things. So let's keep going. Find a hole, loop through the 2 loops. And just on and on. So satisfying. So if you're just starting out and want to practice crochet, not on the garment, but just like this is a simple starting spot. Okay, so here we have a challenge, but I'm going to go down to this bigger hole because that's part of the charm. This is covered up, but I'm going to hook in through this hole exactly the same way. Just find the loop, bring it through, and finish your stitch off. Okay, and over here, similar one. So these are like giant's crochet stitches, which might be helpful for you to see like that. But again, for me, that starts to mirror that. So for that reason, I'm going to do another stitch here through this hole. And pull through the 2 loops. Yep. And then I'm going to see if I can come round into one of these other holes. Yep. And so this time I haven't got crochet underneath it, but I have just got the old doily or embroidery. And so I'm going to do exactly the same stitch. And I need to pull it out because it's round a corner. So this is where crocheting is the most user-friendly. So I get back to finding my 2 loops. And let's see if it's rounded the corner too much. Just adjusting the tension. I think I need one in between. So let's see, simple to undo. So let's do another one here. So if you are doing granny squares or need to get round corners, you just do another stitch in the same hole. It's sort of basically simple concept. That feels better. And I'll see if I can get any other holes. So sometimes it's just a matter of pushing through. Yep, one more. And of course, if you had a finer crochet hook, am I going to win this battle? Maybe not. Let's try one more time. Find a different hole. There. So through and stitch. That's where we need to vary the tension. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off. I'll pick it up with a needle and sew with that to finish it off. but have I got a contrasting? I haven't bought enough contrasting crochet cottons down. That is a shame. So let's change the mind, because I've got this little trim here, and again this is all about just giving our ideas and sharing Kate's random approach to encourage you to follow your own approach, which may not be random. Okay, so really this is, I'm going to put some more white behind you and show you the same concept. So loop on here, this is white, this is cream, and we're going to go into the side of this trim. I like holding that just to anchor it, because there's not much to hold it. Just pull that loop a little bit tighter. Oh, see, she's tangled already. So a little bit of fluff. Okay, so let's use this to practice. Okay, so in here, through, and on top, all the way along each square. Then we're going to do a different thread, and then we'll put this on one of the pouches. Okay, as simple as that. And I love that this is much thicker. So already, see, we're making fabric with cotton. And so that's going to go on here like somewhere. But I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Aren't we blessed? Just seeing if I've gone in that hole twice. No. Yeah. I didn't even measure this piece.